Well, it is officially the last book haul of 2025. Hi there, my name is Crystal, and this is Books Forever After, where I sit on my floor, we talk about everything and all things books, and nothing but the books. Alright, so last book haul of 2025, I did a previous one that was just all of historical romances that I had gotten from library sales, and now this is part 2, which is all of the non-historical romances, so fantasy romance, contemporary romance, things of that nature. And this also includes from library sales, pre-orders, and Christmas gifts that I've gotten as well. So this predates everything from September all the way through the end of the year for 2025. Right, so to get us started, I have 4 stacks of books here to get through. So let's try to get through all of these as fast as possible. Alright, so this first stack is all of the books that I got from library sale. I think majority of these were from a couple of them, so yes. So actually, yes, so there's 5 of them here. So the first one is Cress by Marissa Meyer. This is a young adult fantasy fairy tale retelling. This one is from Rapunzel. As you can tell, I think I own the very first one of this. So I've been collecting these as I find them. I only have one as of now, and so this will be part of my YA TBR jar as I go through those series. I am currently having to read Realmbreaker by Victoria Aveyard, and as soon as I finish that one, I will start on another one for the TBR jar for that for a YA series to choose from. So this one is another one as I slowly collect them. This one I just found as I was perusing. This is where I got like a bunch of books as part of a $5 bag sale that they had, and I was really only interested in 1 or 2, and I think this was the other one, and the rest I just picked up that I will be putting through free little libraries whenever I can with the weather kind of acts with that, and do a little video about that, take some books for those. This one is called A Queen in Hiding by Sarah Kozloff. This is book 1 in 9 realms, and this one says it's the ultimate fantasy for fantasy fans. So I don't know if there's really a romantic subplot or not, but it says it is about an orphan, exiled, and hunted heroine, and she has to master the magic that is her birthright and become a ruthless guerrilla fighter and transform into the queen that she is destined to be. In order to do that, she has to win the favor of the spirits who play in mortal affairs, assemble an unlikely group of rebels, and wrest the throne from a corrupt aristocracy whose rot has spread throughout the kingdom. So what really intrigued me is I hope that means it's going to be a bit of a found family, so I really enjoyed those in the fantasies, and so that is just, I've never heard about this one before. It's probably a little bit of an older one as well, and just intrigued me to pick this one up. Next is Punk 57 from Penelope Douglas. This is romance. Just know of Penelope Douglas from The Birthday Girl. Really enjoyed that book, and I recently picked that one up, and I saw this at a library sale and just decided to pick it up. I think I also was able to pick this one up from a free ebook sale that was going on for Penelope Douglas, like a few books. I also have the ebook of this. If I like it or not, it's fine. If not, I would just put this through free little library or donate it back to my local public library as well. Intrigued to read another book by this author. Next, I found Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. This isn't normally my cup of tea. This is actually a hockey romance that I heard is actually very spicy, but because of the way the cover is, a lot of people thought that this was a young adult. It is not a young adult, so I'm just intrigued. It was making the rounds I think last year, and I found it at a library sale and said, you know what, why not? I'll just pick it up whenever I'm in the mood for a hockey romance. Interested in finding out what I think about this one. And another one that I have been collecting is another, I think, hockey romance, but like college new adult spicy romance. This is The Chase by Elle Kennedy, and this is from the Briar U. I have a few indie copies, I have a few trad copies as well of this, the Briar U, and I don't know, just wanted to collect them all, and just because essentially what I do is, you know, binge read them as I go along with those ones. I want to say the remaining are, okay, so the next one is probably from September, around that time, September, October, later September and October. This one is Eldridge by Carrie Lake. I ordered this when it was newly released, and I also already finished this one as part of our Mood Reader book club with April. I think we did this one for November. So really enjoyed this one. This was a 4-star for me. Absolutely loved the first one, Anathema, which is a 5-star for me. And so just really enjoyed it. It's a gothic fantasy romance with a very creepy and eating woods forest, puritanical small town. You're kind of forced to go into this forest whenever you are exiled or ostracized or, you know, punished, so to speak. And our heroine is a bit of an outcast in this town because she was found at the gate of this woods and has been just treated as other ever since. And very puritanical women are witches, you know, women who are defiant are witches and that whole thing. So really good. This one got more in the backstory of Evander and everything like that. So it was more traumatic with that. I actually enjoyed it, but there was a very slow part. At the beginning of this, we were just stuck, I think, in one location, in one isolated location too long for me, and that took a little bit away from the enjoyment completely for me. But otherwise, I really enjoyed this one, and I'm interested in seeing what the third and final book is going to be like. And hopefully that one gets released next year as well. And then I pre-ordered and picked up all of the Legacy series by Melissa K. Rorick. That is here. And she got indie published, but independently was publishing and got picked up by Kensington. So interested in reading this whole series. I have completed reading the Reign of Shadows and Endings book 1. This was a 4-star for me. I just wasn't impressed by the hero. Very immature. But everything else I really enjoyed about it, and I'm interested to start this. This is more of an urban fantasy vibes as well, but really enjoyed it. This is where, I forget, legacies kind of rule over these fae, and all of the 6 heirs that are now available to have a source. One of these legacies, the ruling class gets to have a source, and all of the 6 heirs are actually available for having a source. And so this fae is forced to become the source for the fae of this, I think the underworld people, whatever that is. It kind of goes like a very almost Greek god kind of feeling, but very urban with cell phones and things like that. So I'm interested in trying a book 2. I hear book 3 is everyone's favorite though. This is book 2, Storm of Secrets and Sorrows. I'm actually about ready starting this one already. And then book 3 is Tempest of Wrath and Vengeance, which I hear is a lot of people's favorite. And then the 4th and final book was just released as well, which was Dawn of Chaos and Fury. So these were all released at the same time. These new paperback versions were matching the indie ones, which I really appreciate. I am just jumping on the bandwagon and trying this series out, and hopefully I will love every single one. Next was a pre-order as well. This was Alchemized by Sinlin Yu. This was a HP fan fiction turned traditionally published with all of the IP taken out of it. Has elements of Handmaid's Tale as well, but has been rewritten for all of that to be taken out and be more original world as much as possible and magic system. So I think it has a lot of alchemy involved as well, and it is a standalone, which I am really excited about. So I also do have Manacled, the fan fiction, on my Kindle that I got before it was taken off of AO3 a year or two ago, or like a year and a half ago. So, but at the same time, I'm just don't think I'm going to go and read that. I want to go into this one without having read that and seeing what I think about this. And maybe someday in the future I will go back and read Manacled, but I just want to try this one out. I'm not sure if this actually has a HEA. I think it's because I hear people cry in this one. It has an epic romance, but I don't know if it actually ends in an HEA. So that is the only thing that is holding me back. I just hope if it doesn't have an HEA that it's really good in some sort of way and it feels some sort of hope. But who knows? Let me know in the comments if that is true or not, because I would like to be prepared at least before I jump into this one. But prepared, but at the same time knowing as little as possible. And then I also pre-ordered the Primal of Blood and Bone. This is a Blood and Ash novel as well. This was supposed to be the last one, but I don't think it is. So I can see why people are starting to kind of fade and get exhausted from these two series, because it's also interconnected with a prequel series called the Flesh and Fire series. I actually prefer the Flesh and Fire series so much more, but I still absolutely love the Blood and Ash series. I need to catch up and read A Soul of Ash and Blood and then go off and finish the prequel one. There's like a recommended order, reading order, and then finish off with the remaining, or whatever this one is, so for Blood and Ash. So yes, I don't know what to expect, and I don't know what else is coming on that, but that is something 2026 Crystal will continue on. If I can read A Soul of Ash and Blood, that would be great. Enough time has passed to where it doesn't feel redundant, I think, because that is a lot of the same. It's from the hero's perspective from book one, and so I think enough time has passed for me to start that one and look forward to that one now. And then another one picked up, I think it actually was for our anniversary, or there was like a sale or something. I don't know, my husband picked this one up for me. But this is The Ever King by L.G. Andrews. This is a pirate fantasy romance that I know April really enjoyed. And so I think The Ever Queen is the second one. I think it's like a set of duologies, follows like the same couple as well. So I haven't read this author before. I know there's a previous series that's like set in this world that is like a 9-book series, and it feels a little intimidating for me to read those ones. So I'm gonna see if I can't start with this one and see if I enjoy it enough to want to read that series as well. This one is a paranormal dark romance. This is The Damned by Harper L. Woods. I really enjoyed the first two. I was hoping to read this one for October, but I reread book one and then read book two that I haven't read it before, and then this would be the third. This one actually, it's like also another set of duologies. This follows another couple, but it's, you still need to read the series in order as well because they are interconnected. And I'm interested in trying this one. This is a little bit of Dante's Inferno, where a demon and a witch have to make their way out of levels of hell. And then we have On Wings of Blood by Briar Boleyn. I actually have the free ebook that I had gotten from a Stuff Your Kindle day back in the day when this was an indie published one. This one got traditionally picked up, and this is the first book one. It has these lovely edges here, some of the end pages as well. I don't think there's anything else here. I'm interested in this one. All I've heard is that this is like a fantasy romance that is like Fourth Wing and with vampires. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. So interesting to see how this one goes, and I don't know when this one I will pick this one up. But yeah, I'll see how it goes. I think there's going to be 3 or 4 books on this series as well. But yeah, that's just another one that's added another book to read for another fantasy romance series. And then this one was a new release as well that I pre-ordered. This is Between Two Kings by Lindsay Straub, or Lindsay Strauby. I don't know how exactly to pronounce it, but this was disappointing. I absolutely loved Kiss of the Basilisk and enjoyed it. So this is part of the Split or Swallow series, and absolutely disappointing. I just pretend that this one doesn't exist and that only book one was meant to be how it was, because the way that one ended, it could stand on its own, and I was just gonna be in my happy place and pretend this one doesn't exist and pretend that one is the perfect one by itself. So other than that, no other context for you, but this is a erotic monster romance with basilisks, and I will talk more about this one in my worst and disappointing books of the year, and also in my December wrap-up, so you have that to look forward to. And then speaking of another disappointment, so Buyer's Remorse already, is Blackthorn by J.T. Geisinger. I was super pumped with this, so I read this I think in November. This was portrayed as a gothic second chance paranormal romance. This is not gothic. It's a dark paranormal romance with practical magic vibes, which I should have known now that I see that is a very short standalone book. If there would be a sequel to this, I would be very, very surprised. It is very pretty. For sure has that. These edges, for sure. But other than that, disappointing. I was so looking forward to it because it's a second chance romance, but just not executed well enough at all. It was just a whole bunch of just surface level nonsense and just random stuff thrown into it at the end to be shocking and dark and disturbing. That's it. So don't recommend. So buyer's remorse with that one. So disappointed. And the reason why is because I enjoyed her mafia romance so much this year too that I picked up, and I'm like halfway through that series. So yeah, that's why this was such a disappointment. So can't all be winners. And then I have book 2 of from Quicksilver. So this is Brimstone by Kelly Hart. Quicksilver, and this book is on my goal for 2026 to read. I eventually want to be able to be part of the cool club and read that one. I've heard nothing but great things about it. Definitely on the same level as Fourth Wing, being very, very popular. And I really liked these. This design is really cool. I was a little bit put back about the design on the front of this at first, but you know what? Seeing it in person, it's not too bad. It gives more like a thriller vibes with all the font of the title and the author name being the same, but you know, it's growing on me. So I'm interested in delving into this one in 2026. And then I also pre-ordered the new editions of the traditionally published versions of the Beasts of the Briar series, books 1 and book 2. Book 1 is Bonded by Thorns, with that. And then book 2 is Woven by Gold. And I just read this at the beginning of December and absolutely loved it. It's a Beauty and Beast retelling. Such a very classic fairy tale retelling, fantasy romance. So enjoyed it. It's also a white shoes. And all the princes are a prince of a different season. Just so great as a atmosphere, just seasonal vibes and Beauty and Beast retelling. So much fun. I'm looking forward to book 3, that the traditionally published versions of these Bright Edges. It publishes, I think, January 27th for the 3rd one. And then I definitely want to pick up the other ones up until, I think, book 5, I think, is the last and final one. So yes, I am already feel accomplished. I did read those ones, so excited to continue it on and read that series. Then another one was a pre-order because I always prefer the hardcovers with these big chunky fantasies. And this is Empire of the Dawn. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition from J. Kristoff. I own all of the 3 hard books now, and so this is one of those that will be on my TBR at some point. I just will have to be in a certain mood because this is vampires, and I hear such great things from it, especially from Crystal Bookish Life and Jen from the Book Refuge. I definitely want to delve into it. I just know, obviously, there's, I think, like romance in it, but it's not an HGA, obviously, I don't think so. I don't know. I'm looking forward to delving outside of my typical fantasy romance genre when it comes to vampires. But I'm still apprehensive on seeing how I will like it, but well, who knows? I have such great hopes that I will. But I've heard mixed things about book 3, and so I'll probably wait for some distance before I start delving into that series. And hopefully when I'm in the mood, which is going to be probably in the fall sometime, I want to be able to delve into this series. The next was a special edition from the Arcane Society subscription that I have. I think I'm going to be canceling eventually. I did a prepaid thing for like 3 boxes or whatever, so I skipped, I think, the most recent one that was the Scarlet St. Clair, the vampire one that I wasn't a fan of. I've already read those ones, but this one I haven't read this author before, so, and it's a duology, which I've really appreciate because that's something I'm getting kind of tired of. Is they do these special editions for series, but then you have to purchase if you want to complete your set, you have to purchase the add-on as soon as they're available, when they usually announce it like 2 weeks after the box is there. I just don't want to shell another like almost $75 just for another 2 just to complete the series, especially if I don't know if I'll like that series. So And then all the resales, things you have to go through. If you do end up liking them and trying on the resale market, it's a whole shebang. So this one is Hellfire and Honey. I don't know which is which, but yeah. Books 1 and 2. These are really, really pretty. So intrigued to see what I think. I think they are vampires, but I know nothing about it. But just that I know it's probably a spicy fantasy romance. It has some designs in here. This is probably NSFW, so I can't really share that. And this is Honey. And then that one. And these have reverse dust jackets as well. So these are really pretty. There's that. So I will be keeping this one for sure. Let me show the reverse dust jacket. I'm really bad at doing this. So we have that. We have that. Which is pretty. And then Hellfire, which I think is actually book 1. Because these are signed, I think, too. The first one's always signed. Yeah, so this is the first one. Yeah, because it's signed. So tip in there. So we have Hellfire. And then the oranges, just love it. So this is super, super pretty. I love me some character art, especially on the end papers. I would love some vellum pages as well with character art would be great, like scenes. That's something I would love for these special editions to have. It also has a mapping color too on the end, so thought that is really cool. So yeah, I just, you know, it is what it is. Oh, and this one comes with, they all come with a pen as well, so have that. It's just one of those that's why I usually don't get special editions unless it's something I absolutely love. So it is what it is with that one. If I end up loving it, then this is great. If not, then I guess I'll just resell it. Alright, and then these final stacks, I have some books that I've purchased, and then I'll have to go through my final one to be the gifts that I got for Christmas. This one was in order because I just finished book 1. This is Sweet Venom by Rena Kent. This is a secret society hockey romance that I really enjoyed. I just read book 1, I think this beginning of this month. So I had to order the second one because I definitely want to continue on. It's really, really cool, dark contemporary romance. Really enjoyed it. So looking forward to that one. And then I picked up A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly by Sophia St. Germain. So I think I've heard from Tori from A Novel Life. She really enjoyed this whole series, and I was able to pick this up from my work recognition thing, so I didn't have to spend any money on this one. So I was able to use my points for that, which was really cool, and to check this one out. I think this has also since been traditionally picked up, so hopefully I'm able to get, if I do enjoy it, able to get the rest of the indie paperbacks as well, but we'll see how it goes. Or at least for the traditional ones to kind of match at least the same size and that whole thing. But the Compelling Fates Saga. This is one where the heroine is able to compel people by looking into their eyes. After a tragic accident, she's thrown into the Fae King's dungeons and forced to swear a blood oath to him, binding her to his service. Looking forward to trying this one out. This one is a Goodreads giveaway that I received. This is it's an ARC copy, a advanced readers edition copy, and this is Queen of Faces by Petra Lord. This is a debut author, and this is about a heroine that is stuck in a body that is rotting away, and she doesn't have enough money to purchase another chassis, and so it's kind of feels like a very Hunger Games kind of oh, what's that movie where Justin Timberlake was in, where they were doing the times counting down kind of a thing? So it's that sort of thing. So she tries to, you have to like, in order to get more, you have to like pass a test or something like that in this academy, and she doesn't, she fails her like entrance exam or something like that, and then she tries to use her illusion magic to gain access, to try to steal a healthy body or a healthy chassis, as they say. And so she is confronted with an ultimatum to be turned in, ultimatum of the headmaster of the academy, to face execution or become a mercenary at his command. And I think it developed like a relationship or romance between them. So I'm excited to try this one out. I think this one releases February 3rd in 2026. And yeah, I'm excited to try this one out and get this read as soon as possible, with so many of my book TBRs filling up so quickly. But yes, definitely want to read this one. This one sounds really, really intriguing. So the next one is The Rage of the Woodlands by B.B. Aspen. I picked this up from the Black Cat bookstore and oddities. This was on my trip with Becky from Bex Reads. I got to meet her in person finally, so that was really exciting. I was probably very weird and awkward, but I was super stoked, probably if you couldn't even tell, because I probably wasn't outwardly showing it, but I was super excited to get to meet her in person, because she's a good friend here on YouTube, on you know, the book community. I chat with her all the time, so it's just really exciting to get to see her in person and get to meet her sister as well. So yeah, this one is signed, so this is what's great about this bookstore that we visited. It was my first time visiting too as well, so we got to experience that together. It is about like over like almost an hour away from where I live locally, so she was up here. She's traveling to go see her family for Christmas, and so she stopped by to be able, and we met at the bookstore there, so it was really fun. We got to go to lunch, go to the bookstore. It was just so much fun, and I was excited about attending to this bookstore because it's so pretty. Like all of the different rooms have themes. It is 2 houses that were converted into this bookstore. And the second one we went to, I think, is my favorite, although the first house that we went to has the indie ones there that I was looking forward to. This is part of like my ambition, is to read some local authors as well, and this was next on my list to try to grab and read. That was an author I didn't get to meet or get a book there from the Big Ohio Book Con that I attended in June, and I definitely want to attend again in June in 2026. And so I'm trying to my best to read as many of those indie authors that I can from my list that I was from attending that con. And yeah, so excited for this one. I believe this one is also a Why Choose, and it is a now completed trilogy, so excited to delve into this one soon. And it came with a bookmark. It was pre-signed, and that is what was great about this, is that these local authors come and drop off, you know, they sell their books there. They also sign it for local people that come up and, you know, pick it up. It's just great. So excited to delve into that one eventually, into soon. And then this other one, I already own the paperback, but again, traditional publishing did it to me again. They were not publishing the second one in the paperback. Drives me up the wall. That is Blood of Hercules by Jasmine Moss. So this is Greek Gods. I think it's a twist on Hercules, where she is Hercules or has the blood of Hercules or something like that, and has to go through these like gladiator kind of trials kind of thing. I'm so interested in trying this one. I think it eventually turns into like a slow burn White Jews maybe in book 2, but this one is, I couldn't pass it up. It was so, the edges were so pretty and such, and this was on sale, so yeah, it was already my TBR. I'm like, you know what, I'll just resell the paperback, it's fine. Although the paperback did have a really cute step back that this one does not, but yeah. And then this is book 2, Bonds of Hercules. This was in black with the gold as well. So pretty edges, just so pretty. Oh, this one has really pretty end paper, so that's cool. The other one did not. Oh yeah, little foiling and embossing there. Super cool. I know April really enjoyed it, so eventually I will read this one as well on my TBR. I get a lot of my recommendations from my friends. It's just kind of funny how your friends always influence you with reading, because they know your taste, right? that's how it is. I pre-ordered this one as well, or I ordered it from the author, which is The Petulant Princess by M.A. Frick and Between Love and Ruin. I ordered this from the author's website. This is book 2. So book 2, I read the arc of this as well. I loved book 1, Between Love and Deceit, so much that I wanted to join the author's arc team, so I did, and then I also purchased the book because I loved the series so much. And then while I was there, I also picked up the next one in her backlist that I want to read. It's a standalone, The Petulant Princess. It also has an audiobook. So super excited about that. I'm really excited for next year because she's also going to be releasing all 3 audiobooks of the trilogy of this year soon. I think book 1 is going to be out soon for the audiobook, so that's exciting. And she's going to be republishing her other Forcing Fate series, which is another dragon fantasy romance series, like a trilogy, and she's going to like republish like the with new covers and such. I super love this one. This is a fantasy romance that has a lot of steam, not spice. It's like closed door spice, but it has so much tension, especially the book 1 is so good. I mean, the library scene. So good. This is a age gap fantasy romance where she falls in love with her future father-in-law. So it's also a forbidden romance. So this is so good. And they can't be together because he has done a blood oath with the dragons, with her family. They're from this island kingdom where they have dragons, but they also have limited resources of food, and his kingdom needs some more forces. They need more defense forces from other kingdoms. And so it was a blood oath, and he has to, because of that, his oath was that she has to marry his son. And so as you can tell, creates a little bit of some problems, especially as his son is a bit of a jerk and he's not that great. So good. Book 2 really opens up in the world and seeing more of the dragon side of it, which is really fun. I highly recommend this, especially if you want some like tension, longing, and yearning. Lots of steam. Book 1, low spice, closed door, but so good. So good. This next one is a Christmas gift, or my Christmas gift for me personally, for my husband. So this is The Once a Future Queen by Paula Lafferty. Able to pre-order this one from Black Cat's bookstore, and they shipped it out to me. Really super pretty. I just got done finishing this one. So yeah, super pretty. It came with postcards of kind of like those places that is mentioned in the book, and then it came with a author signature plate. It's just so pretty. I love that the design of it matches the time period and like the art, like the paintings of the art, especially with the cover, just has that medieval feel. And if you can't tell, this is an Arthurian retelling. It probably took inspiration from The Once and Future King, which is the story, the original like story of Arthur, like a novel based upon Arthur. I only know Arthur from the Disney ones with Merlin. That's how I know about the Arthur retelling, and then also all the Arthurian retellings from movies and things like that. But this one follows Guinevere, and is a time travel Arthurian retelling that has found family and a friends to lover romance that I really enjoyed. So she is living in the current world. She, Merlin approaches her that she is a long lost Guinevere, that she has to come back to the past because her memories are very important to solve this important thing that is happening. Of course, she has no memory of this, and so she's just been living in this contemporary world. And the reason why this all happened was it was done to save her life at a certain point, and so now she's being brought to try to save Camelot from a great evil that is occurring. And yeah, so it just goes from there. It is going to be a trilogy series, and so it does leave off kind of unfulfilled. And the way it ends, you may think that it is obvious and like pointless for the heroine, but I don't think it is. There's a reason for what happens in here, so I'm super interested to see how that unfolds. This isn't a perfect book by any means either. Even though it was a 5-star for me, I really enjoyed it, but you can definitely tell this is a debut author, but it has such a great, strong foundation for, I can see this author just growing and growing as a writer. Another cool thing that it came with was a bracelet that the author made herself, which I thought was super cool and really unique, and I appreciate the author's passion for her book and her release on that, and like just something that I appreciate, because when you really believe in something, you really put your all into it. So yeah, I definitely appreciated that. I am just so excited to have found an Arthurian retelling, because sometimes medieval doesn't work for me because if it's not done right, especially time travel, if it's not done right. Like I said, it's not perfect, but I really did enjoy this one. And then I also received, we did a Bookish Wishlist, like Santa, Secret Santa list thing with B in her Discord. This is Terror at the Gates by Scarlett St. Clair. I received this from Kristen, so thank you, Kristen. She also has a YouTube channel, so I will link her down below. It's a urban fantasy that I think is like a retelling of Lilith, where Lilith is the main character, and it's a fantasy romance, urban fantasy romance, I should say. So excited to eventually pick this one up, and yeah, I think it's going to be a trilogy as well. So I'm wondering, I think book 2 will be releasing in the fall next year, if not correct. So, but yeah, this will also be added to my never-ending TBR. And then this one I received as an extra special Christmas gift from Abby Jean. So thank you so much, Abby Jean. This was so sweet of you. This is The Second Death of Locke by VL Bovellino. I think it's like a standalone, so it's going to be like an interconnected standalone, which I think is really unique and interesting. So it does resolve like the romance at the end from what I heard. And this is a female knight, and that is, I don't know, there's something about that trend that I really like. So I'm interested in reading as many of those as I can. So I wonder if that's a good video idea, actually, a good vlog idea, to read some female knight fantasy romances. Let me know down below what some other ones that I should read. I need to pick up some probably at least 3 to be able to read for a vlog like that. That would be really fun, I think. But anyway, so I'm going to buddy read this in January with Abby Jean, so I'm really excited to do that. Give me your recs. Maybe I need to do that. Do a vlog for that. That sounds like fun. I think I would enjoy that. Last but not least, Becky. Instead of doing books, she gave me something really sweet, because as we were shopping, we were looking, we were, you know, window shopping and things like that, and we came across like some really cool book themed purses and wallets and such like that, and it was just cute and such like that. But she decided she had forgotten to stop. She told me she forgotten to stop by, but she was able to find this, I think, on Etsy and such for me, which is like a book themed purse that has my channel name on it. It says Books Forever After. So thank you so much, Becky. This was just so sweet. I definitely love this because it definitely fit in my library, and heck, I might just go to the library myself with this and use this as my library bag to go to the library when I want to go visit my local public library, because there was frequent flyer miles for attending the public library. I would be able to go to Tahiti by now. I just love being at the library. It's my favorite sanctuary in the whole world. But yeah, so thank you so much, Becky, for this. This is so freaking cute. It has a little bit of a longer thing as well, but it's just adorable. So thank you so much, Becky. I love it. So that is all the books. These are my last big book haul for 2025. I don't foresee having another book haul until mid-year next year for my birthday, I think. Since next year is going to be actually a low buy year, as I'm only going to be purchasing the ones, as I mentioned in my anticipated releases, the ones that I know for sure that I want to pick up, and I'll talk more about that later. Yeah, that's it for a while now. Well, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. That's the hope, is that it's going to not be again until June, most likely. So there you go. So hopefully this will last you for a while. Alright, well, thank you guys for watching. Let me know down in the comments below, what ones do you think I should get to, which ones you enjoyed, and which ones that I haven't read that you think that I shouldn't start. And if you don't want to comment that, but you want to let me know that you made it all the way through the end of this video, go ahead and comment a dragon emoji. Is there a dragon emoji, I think? A dragon or a shield emoji for the knight, or dragons for the dragons one. So I don't know which one's available at the top of my head right now, but as always, I will have my links down below in the description box, including my Instagram, Goodreads, and Bookish Wishlist. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified for every time I post. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.